lots of others on the side that we can pop in as we go. So this one is pretty. You love the yes, right? So pretty. It's my favorite. Blue is my favorite color. Like I have trouble when I come across the blues, putting them out. And then I'm like, I can only have so many blue earrings and necklaces, and I'll never wear it all, but they're fun to have. All right, next up, this is a pretty little piece. Um, I feel like maybe it's hand done, but I could be wrong because it's various metal works. So it is gold and silver tone. Pretty little angel. Has some filigree going on and a flower for its head, right? Just really neat. And then you have the silver bottom. This kind of reminds me of a fan. And here is the back. Yeah, isn't this neat? And it also has, can be a pendant. So that is pretty cool too. Very minimal wear. There's a little glue spot right there. But I think she's so sweet. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start. That's $7 start on that. She's really pretty. Probably more Christmassy, but just came across her. So I figured I would show her off. Excuse me. All right. This is another pretty one. Okay. So this is really pretty too. It's a silver tone with lavender stone center and small. I guess these do have a little bit of an Aurora Borealis coating on them, the smaller stones. And these here, those two. But pretty little ribbon, minimal wear, really nice condition. Just a pretty. I love the purples too. Not as much as I like the blues. But here's the back. Great bar. But very pretty. So this one has a $10 start. I'm going to hit start now. There we go. It's like a delay for a second. But this is really pretty how it catches the light. Love it. Really pretty. All right. So this next one is a gem. I think this is really cool. So I called it, possibly a pot metal. Possibly a pot metal. I'm not 100% sure on this. But I'm calling it a fan because it reminds me of a fan, like when it's, opened. And it does have a pretty row of rhinestones down the center. And then it has this little faux pearl dangle. Now you can see that there is a little mark right there on the pearl. And then there is a little rhinestone right there. Kind of some silver metal textured. Here is the back. There is no hallmark on this. Now the safety clasp, the one that rolls over to hold it, the pen in place, is missing. So this would have to be repaired. Depending what you wore, it may, your fabric may be thick enough to hold it in place. But I did want to point out, and it is in the listing, that the release, I guess it is missing. But overall, it's a pretty piece. It has a $7 start. I'm going to hit start on that. A pretty one. Welcome if you are just hopping on. Amy with South Jersey Mama's Shop. If you see anything that I have already shown that you would like me to re-show, just let me know and I will do that for you. So this is the last one that I preloaded, but I have a lot on the side that we are just going to snap as we go along. I am just doing brooches tonight. All right, I'm going to show the ruler on this one because this gem is a little on the smaller side. About 1.25 inches by 3/4 of an inch. So it is a smaller side. A pretty little silver tone one. Now this one does have a little bit of metal wear. You can see right here, a little bit of like some scratching on the metal. But it doesn't take away from how pretty it is. And here's the the other side. Now it is missing a stone right there, so you would need to replace the stone. Here's the back. Here's the bar. The bar has a little metal wear as well. You can see the little discoloration on the bar there. But a pretty little gem overall. And this hat, oh, this is supposed to say $5. Hold on one second. Let's see if it'll let me go in and change that. Let me remove it from the stage. Hold on one second, friends. Edit. Sometimes my big fingers get in the way and I type something I didn't want to type. That's better. This should have a $5 start. There we go. So that is a $5 start on that. Again, it needs a stone replaced. But pretty otherwise. This would be a great upcycle piece as well. All right. So that, I think I went through all the ones I was able to preload. Just double check. I did. All right. So what we're going to do now is I am doing small bundles. Okay. So first up, I have, this will be for the 3 that I am showing you. And I am going to just snap a picture real quick. So we have one. This is going to be for 3 cameos. And I'm going to call it number 1 because I have 2 different cameo bundles that I'm going to put up. If that makes sense. Okay. So this will be for all 3 of these brooches. Okay. So this is the first one. So it's like that faux Victorian look, that brassy gold look. This is an acrylic. The look of a soapstone, but it is an acrylic. And she's really cool looking. She's made to look older. And here is the back on this one. Actually, maybe this is not. This is a soapstone. I take that back. This is the soapstone one. That's the other one. That's the acrylic. My apologies. This is the soapstone one. There's the bar, and it also doubles as a pendant. All right. So the top is like an acrylic, but this is a soapstone. You can feel, you can see it. See the pitting, and it's sticky. So that is one that you would get in this. This is the second one, gold tone. These are both bigger. You can see it's like a black. stone center. Here's the bottom. I'm just putting these on as groups of 3. And here is this pretty gold tone. And this one is actually a locket. You can see the hinge. This reminds me of Avon, but oh, goodness. There it is. Center that does have a little wear on the inside. You can see some scratches, but it's still pretty. So this auction is for all 3 of these. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. Thank you so much for your opening bid. So that is for all 3 of these beauties. Very pretty. All right. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Put them in bags for you. There we go. All right. I have another one, another set of 3. Take a picture real quick. And I'm going to call this one 3 cameos. Whoops, can't spell tonight, friends. 3 cameos number 2. There we go. All right, so this is for these 3. So these are pretty. This one, now these are not big, like as big as the others. They are more, smaller. But this is really pretty. Filigree, kind of like, I guess, like a fan, maybe a collar kind of look. And then you have the pretty little cameo. This does feel like maybe it's a stone. You hear my son playing the video games. I apologize. I told him to be quiet. Yeah, this feels like it could be a stone of sorts. I don't think it's a soapstone, though. But she's really pretty. Here is the back of her. That's the first one. And then you have this pretty little gem here. Kind of looks like a flower, gold tone. Pretty little rhinestones. Minimal wear on the gold. I don't really see any discoloration or anything like that on the gold. And this one is an acrylic for sure, not a stone. But she's still pretty. Here's the back of this one. And then this is the third one. This one, really pretty. It's like that pretty Wedgwood blue. You can see it is not even. It is gold tone. You can see that there is some wear on the metal, but she's still pretty. And here is the back of her. This one, again, some wear on the metal. So I'm going to hit start on those. Thank you so much for your bid. So you're going to get all 3 of these gems. Cameos. I love cameos. Alrighty, congratulations. Put those in bags for you real quick. Quickly, I guess I should say. right. Thank you. With your other ones. All right. Next up. So this next one is for, let's see. You're going to get 4 in this bundle. Take a quick picture. Oops. We are going to call it set of 4. Whoops. Rhinestone brooches. Whoops. All capitals. Don't want to shout at you. Okay. Okay. All right. So you're going to get all 4 of these pretty ones. So this has like the Art Deco vibe to it. This is not a stone. This is an enamel. You know, it's painted on there to look like it. It's like a faux. This is like a faux marcasite, I believe. I don't think it is a true marcasite, but it, has the Art Deco look and feel to it. There is how big it is. Show that up close. You can see. Here is the back of it. I'm thinking 80s does Art Deco. I'm not 100% sure. And then I have these 2. They were probably part of like the sweater set. You see how they're small. Silver tone with rhinestones. Pretty little gem. Here is the back. And then this is another one. And that's how big this one is. Another little floral look. Again, was probably like one of the running sweater sets. This glass piece in the middle is a beautiful cut. Can you see all the cuts on there? Really pretty. And there's the back of that one. And then we have, we have this one here. Ribbon with lots of rhinestones. This one here, this stone here, to me looks like it's a little shade yellow. If you look really closely, again, maybe my eyesight may not be, but I feel like I see a little bit of yellow right there. But otherwise, that teal is really pretty. Pretty little piece. Here is the back. Maybe a pot metal. Kind of has that, right here you can kind of see that like pot melted pot metal look. There's your back. All right, so it's $14. And you're going to get, my big fingers are all in the way. I'm so sorry. But you would get all 4 of these for the $14. Again, my big fingers, I'm so sorry. Alrighty, we'll put this over. So welcome. If you are just hopping on this Friday, my name is Amy from South Jersey Mama Shop, featuring all brooches tonight. If you see something that we have already run that you would like me to rerun, just type it in the comments and I will gladly do that for you. All right. We take another picture of our next 3. Right now we're doing some bundles. So this is going to be set of 2. Let's see, rhinestone birches. Whoops, can't spell. And a shoe clip. Whoops, a shoe clip. Let's try shoe. Okay. Okay. So this is actually going to be 2 brooches and a shoe clip. So the first brooch in here is a really neat piece. Hi, Lori. It's a really neat piece, but it is an older piece, so it needs some TLC. So this is, you can see it says American Legions Auxiliary, and this is what the I'm trying to think, the hostess of the auxiliary would wear at their yearly big meetings, like their big conventions, so to speak. I could not find the exact year of this one. They did one, they do one every year. But if I had to guess on my research, it's probably in the 30s, 40s at the latest. But you can see that there is glue residue on this one for sure. That would need to be cleaned up. And the stones, it's not that the stones are yellow. It's really, I can see that like it's from the glue. Silver toned, some pretty rhinestones in there. Like I said, definitely a TLC piece, a neat piece because it is kind of a collectible. Definitely a niche, right? Someone who is in the American Legion or had a family members would be interested. Here is the back of this piece, and you can see, the glue coming out on the back as well. So it definitely would have to be cleaned up. So that's the first one. And this next one is a marked brooch. So it is a silver tone floral bunch with like a ribbon and little tiny rhinestone accents. Again, this one has some glue residue. You can see in spots. So it would need some extra cleaning and love. Here is the back of this one. And here is, maybe upside down here. It is a Lind, SPW Lind Hallmark. So that is the second one in there. Again, a little TLC. And then this is a shoe clip. This one is missing a stone, a couple of them right there. So this is being sold as a TLC upcycle piece. You can replace the stones, clean it up, and make it into, there is your patent pending. Actually, I think it may be a fur clip because I see has the sharp prong. So it may not be a shoe clip, maybe a fur clip. At either rate, it is a TLC piece. Very pretty Art Deco, but needs some love. So this is for all 3 of these that need a little love. But still some great gems. It has $10 start. Hit start on that. So that would be for all 3 of these. Again, so I apologize for my big fingers. All in the way. So sorry. All right. So again, if you're just hopping on and you see something that you would like me to re-show, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to ask. All right. We are doing 3 at a time. Next, I have couple mother of pearl jams. Listen to me. Mother of pearl gems. All right. So I'm going to call this mother of pearl 1 because I have another mother of pearl set coming up after this one. Okay. Move this one to the stage. All right. So here we go. So this is, and I want to show you. So this gem is little, but it's really pretty. It would be great for this summer if you have any vintage like sailor dresses or shirts or anything like that. Super cute to add to it. Gold tone with some mother of pearl accents. Minimal wear. Here is the back. Just a cute little sailor piece. And then we have this cute little whale who is, spouting some water with the mother of pearl there. This one does have glue residue, so it would need to be cleaned up some. And then here is the back. Cute little gem. And then this one is an older piece. This is actually, you can see the carved mother of pearl and it has some pretty little accent, little heart shaped, and a gold toned mother wired. You can see it's all one piece. There is, needs some cleaning. You can see there is a touch of verdigris right there. But this is a definite older piece. You can see C clasp going. There is the back. But a sweet little gem of an older one. Again, it is smaller. Definitely handmade for sure. So these 3 little gems here, trying to figure out a way not to get my big fingers in there, have a start of $10. This one is really pretty. Would have been great for Mother's Day, but next year. You can save it for next year. I love how it is hand twisted. Really neat. Really neat piece. Okay. Let me take a picture of the next one. I apologize if you can hear my dog. I'm downstairs in the basement. But she's upstairs. She's so nosy. I'm sure she's at the door right now. Now that it's light, the neighborhood's out walking all over the place, taking advantage of the nice weather and the longer daylight hours. And they're walking, and she's nosy. She just sits out there and barks all day, all afternoon. Let's see here. Oops. What did I just do? Hold on. Let me try that again. Somehow, I think I hit the wrong button. So I can't see it. All right, try that again. Sorry, friends. Mother of pearl set 2. Okay. Oops, that would help. Try that again. There we go. There it is. Okay. All right, so this is gonna be for, these 3. Get all 3 of these in this one. Hello, Poodle Babe. I love that name. That's really cool. This first one is absolutely stunning. This is the mother of pearl, carved violin with a rose. Lots of details. Look at that. It's a pretty rose. It even has um, like the strings and everything. Not just another rose. Really pretty. Yep. There is the back. Now, this one does have glue. You can see the glue residue on there. And there is that. So that is the first. I just love this. It's so pretty. So that is the first one that is in that set. The next one is this tiny little kind of like a floral design, gold toned with many faux pearls and rhinestones. You can see that this one does have a missing bead. I know, David. Hi, David. Welcome. This one does have a missing bead, and there is a tiny touch right there of green verdigris. That should come off with a little TLC and baking soda. It's just a really small spot. That is a good question, David. I see lots of glue residue. Here is the back of that one. And then the third one, this may be thermostat, I believe. So it's silver toned. Not quite sure. I guess it's supposed to be like like a flower bouquet. You have like the leaf here and your stems. There is some glue residue on this one as well. You can see the glue coming up under the faux pearl. And then here is the back of this one. This is not not a marked one. But really it's interesting piece, that one. Interesting piece. All right, so that is you would get all 3 of these for this bid. So I'm going to hit start. And I apologize again for my big fingers. So you would get all 3 of these. This one is I love this one. I go back and forth about putting this one on and then not putting it on. I just think it's pretty. I don't know what I would do with it, but it's pretty. Just think if anybody that plays a violin, that would be the perfect gift. All right, let me pull up another set. Whoops. Get another set out. A little more extra time than I thought. So pull out some other bundles here. All right. Take some pictures. And this next one's going to be for a set of 4 brooches. They're kind of eclectic mix. This one. But they're pretty. Oops. Keeping track of the time. Okay, we're good. I want to make sure we have another wonderful seller coming up. So I don't want to go over my time here. Oops. Set of 4 brooches. And I'm just going to put large butterfly basket to identify that one. All right. So we're going to add this to the stream. So this is for all 4 of these. So the first one is this gem here. This is a larger one for sure. You can see how big that one is, and it is nice and wide as well. So it is gold toned. You can see it is stacked. Has some brushed enamel on there. Lots of different textures, right? Lots of different textures going on, different designs. Pretty little glass stones in the flowers. Um, this, I believe, is, you see how it's kind of has that gold with the antique-y, vintagey look. I believe that's intentional in the design. Here is the back of this one. See, the bar is pretty straight, but just a gem of a piece. The next one, this is probably feels like copper to me, like a copper base. I could be wrong, but I think it is. I think this one's really pretty. Kind of different. Little purple um, accent there. And you got your fall fruit. Great piece. Probably handmade. Does have some wear on the metal there. And this one does have a bent there. So someone was having fun trying to get that to go under some fabric. The next one up is the Fragnoid one with your courting couple, and you have your um the gold, brassy gold, vintagey look on there. It is probably a transfer. You can see right there the transfer line does have the signature there. Here's the back of that one. Again, your glue residue, but a pretty piece. And then this one is actual, not quite sure, to be honest with you, what this symbol is. I could not find anything. Rhinestones around it. It's probably some group, like a membership button of some group. Because it is a tack, like that kind of back. But neat piece, neat piece. So for $15, you would get this set of 4. I'm going to hit start on that. So you would get the Fragnoid, the butterfly, that gem, and this pretty little fruit would be in that set. Put that over to the side. Okay. Next up, the next bundle is for 3. Picture again, if you are just hopping on and you see something that we've already gone through that you would like me to show again, you would like to see it up close, just let me know. And I will do that for you. All right, set of 3. Oops, can't spell, friends. 3. And we're going to put cornucopia as an identifier. All right. Okie dokie. So the first one up, this is pretty. It's like a floral cornucopia. You can see it has all these different pretty pastel centerpieces with some faux pearls going on. Beautiful gold tone. Does miss a little stone right there, so that would you need to replace. Here is the back, and it is marked USA. And there is the bar on that one. So that is the first one. I'm calling it a flower cornucopia. The next one is also a flower, and I believe it's a copper. I think it's like a penny jewelry. You know how they used to make jewelry out of pennies? I don't know if they still do that anymore. It was really popular when I was in school, so high school. So we're talking late 80s, early 90s. But a pretty little, and it is thin. There is your flower center. And there is your back. And then the last one, I think this is Monet. Yes, this is a Monet. And this has a little weight to it. This one's on the heavy side. So silver tone, twisty flower with a pretty little faux pearl-like center. And here is the back. There is your Monet. And this one is, like I said, this is heavy. And this is a little bigger. All right. So for $12 is the opening bid on this bundle. I'm going to hit start now. You're going to get all three of those. Oops. Again, my big fingers. So sorry. All right. Oops. All right. I'm going to do a bigger bundle for the next one. Excuse me. I had to turn my sound off for a second. All right. Let me take a picture. Set of 7. I'm going to call these novelty because they're all different kind of shapes and things like that. Excuse me, gosh. All right, so this one is going to be for all 7 of these gems, and they are in pretty nice condition. This one is a gold tone, gold tone rose. So you can see she's got lots of twist and detail to make her pop. There's how big she is. And that's the back. Next in there's also, these kind of remind me, they're like a heart feather, gold tone, minimal wear. Here's the back of that one. This one is oversized, so it is a little, fairly large. All right. Next up is this silver toned. It's kind of like a double intertwined circle. The not quite other, how to explain it otherwise. Has a really neat design and texture to it. You can see kind of pretty there. Here is the back. And then you have this one as well. I love this one. Isn't this so pretty? Gold tone heart with some faux pearls. And it's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it's a dark blue, tiny dark blue glass. And there is the back of that one. Little wear right there on the bar, but otherwise, nice gem. Was this one marked? Let me just double check. No. I was thinking this was Monet, but I guess not. So I guess this is supposed to be a feather. But I look at it and I think like steps. Steps or city buildings. But kind of cool, abstract kind of brooch. Gold tone, minimal wear. There's a little right there, a little black mark. Scratched paint. Can you see it in there? Right there. I'm going to show you that. But I think this is pretty cool. This is a silver toned key with rhinestone accents. And there's the back. Now this one, the bar is bent. So someone was loving this one a lot and sticking it through a lot of fabric. But the clasp and everything is fully functional, and that part is very pretty. And then the last one is this pretty little scarab gold tone gem. The stones are really pretty. Love the blue on that one. And there is the back of that one. So the opening is going to be 20 on that. I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to hit start. So you would get all of those. All right, so we have about 15 minutes. I do have some more that I haven't shown yet, but I wanted to check and see because I see some folks have hopped on here in the past couple of minutes. If you see any that you would like me to re-show, I will let me do it this way. So I'm going to go over. These are all the ones that I showed already. So if you see one, you can see the details in the side before I pick some more off to show you. Let me know. That's the set that we just showed. So if you see any, let me know. If not, I'll continue pulling some ones I haven't showed yet. All right. Pardon me. I'm telling you, my allergies are really just starting to crank up here. All right. Let me see. Show this one. So this next one is going to have 6 in it. take a picture of them. Set of 6 floral. Green coral. All right, so this one you would get all 6 of the ones I'm going to show you. So first up is this pretty one. She is gold toned and with a red acrylic center. And you can see there are rhinestones and purple glass accents. Gold tone. Really pretty little gem. A very minor wear. Little tiny scratch on the acrylic that you can see if you hold it just so to the light. But otherwise, pretty nice piece. So that's the first one. This second one is pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of something that you would, find on, I don't know, like, what are they called? Goodness gracious, the soldiers that are on the horses at Buckingham Palace, like, they have a lot of that decorative, regalia. This is what this kinda reminds me of. So it is like a goldy, brassy tone, lots of little detail pops with faux pearl, accents on it. This does have a little bit of a scratch, tiny, again, you'd have to see it be really close, but I did wanna point that out. A kind of a neat little, like, almost like a laurel leaf, wreath, excuse me, kind of with, some accent. Here is the back of that. So that's the second one. This next one is a coral. She is missing a tiny little pearl right there. You see that? So she is gold toned, really pretty, has some faux little tiny beads and rhinestone, and also some green enamel. There's another one missing right there. So she does need, see, some little bit of, repair. But she's a pretty coral piece. Here is the back. The bar is pretty straight. Pardon me. And there's your Coro hallmark. That's the third one. And your fourth and fifth ones are the same brooch in different colorways. So they're both pretty nice. Mine are rare. So they are like a double, pardon me, gold toned circle with some filigree leaves, dark blue glass on that one, and a teal glass on that one. You can see the settings. And here is your back. This does have a little metal wear on the bars, but overall, pretty little gems. Again, the same thing, the bar. And again, it's probably from shoving into fabric over and over again over the years. And then this is the last one. And this one also reminds me of like regalia that you would see on the guards. That's the word, the guards at Buckingham Palace. So this one's pretty. It's like a goldy, gold tone metal. Minor wear, some rhinestones, and a pearl center. And so the wear right there, you can see that has a little bit of wear. Just needs a little TLC. Here is the back of this one. This almost looks like, pardon me, like a soldering, like a heat mark from the soldering, iron, I guess you would call it. And that does have a touch right there of verdigris. So it would need a little TLC, some peroxide and or not peroxide, baking soda and a toothbrush could do it. All right. So this auction, you're going to get all 6 of those for $20. I'm going to go ahead and hit start now. Pardon me. Right, we have a few more minutes. Oops, I did show those ones too. Right. Let me see, friends. What else? Oh, yes, I have this flower set here. I fibbed a little. This last set does have a couple pair of earrings in it as well. Actually, more than a couple, but I will show you. It's a flower set. We're going to call it mixed flower set. We have some screwbacks and some 80s pieces and a couple enamel flowers. And this will probably be the last auction of the night, because then it will be time to read our next wonderful seller. So let me take a quick picture and then we'll go over it. And I'm just going to call it Mixed Flower Lot. What did I put on that one? Okay. Okay. So I am going to run through these quickly and then run the auction, and that will be our night. All right. So the first one in this auction is this black and gray oversized large enamel. This is a TLC piece. You can see that the leaves are going on there. It does need a little bit of cleaning up, and some enamel along the edges has chipped. This is a Sandor, let me put it over this way, Sandor Company hallmarked flower. So that would be the first piece in this auction. This one is a really pretty Tanya's Creation. Very nice condition, shades of green enamel with some green Aurora Borealis for the center. Here is the back with the bar. The bar is a little bent, again, from that fabric, and it does have some glue residue. But it is a Tanya's Creation. There's your hallmark. Pardon me. All right. Next up is this cute little gem of a brooch. Silver tone flower basket with some enamel colored roses in the center. And here's the back of this one. So that you're going to get those 3 brooches, plus you're going to get these earrings. These are Coro clips, pretty little purple pansies with rhinestone accents. Here are the backs. You can see the Coro Hallmark. They have the lever backs on there. I'm going a little quickly here. These are awesome. These are a lightweight silver tone metal rose. You can see all the texture in them, probably handmade. They are screwbacks. They are not marked. They have some minimal wear, but overall, some great 1930s pieces. So sorry, my voice is starting to crack. Again, from the 30s are these really fun pair of yellow, probably a celluloid, I think. There is a little spot right there. It's in the plastic, so I'm unsure if that'll come out or not. And here is the back of those. These are a fun pair of metal enamel flowers. They do have a little bit of wear on them, but overall, pretty piece. Probably circa 1980s. They do need some cleaning. Here's the back. That one, again, would need some cleaning. Pretty little enamel. And then the last ones in this auction are these pierced earrings, rhinestone roses. They are a plastic, maybe a celluloid. I'm not 100% sure. Probably not. Probably just a lightweight acrylic because they're newer. They're probably a lightweight acrylic. All right, so this is the last one. We're gonna run it now. Get that whole lot. And it is started. See, little floral lot of everything through the decades. 60s and 80s and 30s. Some pretty little pieces. All right, my friends. Well, thank you so much for, pardon me, hanging out with me this evening. I really appreciate it. If you get a chance, you can go click on my profile. I do have I think I'm over 700 pieces, nearly 700 pieces in my shop. You can browse at your leisure, send me offers, questions, whatever you would like. But thank you so much for spending some time with me. And we are going to see Hints of Violet, and we're going to go read her right now. Have a fantastic weekend, my friends.